Ladies and gentlemen, please postpone your plans for this weekend. Prepare yourselves and put your children to bed early, because what we're going to reveal will completely change your perception of Remy Ma's new identity. A controversy that was so wild and outrageous happened just days after she declared to the world that she was weary of pretending, done with men, and done with toxic masculinity. Every group chat, TikTok, and Twitter are all yelling the same thing. Hold on, what did she say and do what? Because a startling video has now surfaced. And who is said to have dropped it? Papoose, her own spouse, was the one. The monarch of fidelity. You're correct. The man who waited for her to be imprisoned for 6 years. She just came back with a vengeance against the same man who emotionally bench-pressed her in front of the entire culture. As well as the video, Remy Ma alone in a secluded room, but 2 males. 2 indeed. She sobbed live about meeting tenderness before revealing to us that she was gay. Remy Ma was recorded in 4K, trashing her entire movement after establishing herself as a black queer icon for a betrayed night. Is it retaliation? Is it authentic? Is she telling the truth? Or was it merely a falsehood that was discovered? You? Make the decision, says what we're going to it is wicked to expose. Let us start at the top. This is more than just a scandal, darling. It is a clash of legacy, lust, and deception. Remy Ma made waves only a few weeks ago after a phone call that was leaked went viral online. She allegedly said to a close acquaintance on that chat, "I've been queer my entire childhood, and Papoose was never enough. I just didn't know how Tufan celebrated what seemed like a long-awaited liberation by adorning Twitter with rainbow flags and heart emojis." She was hailed for her bravery, and queer blogs referred to her as a hero. She even shared a mysterious picture of herself wearing rainbow stilettos, captioning it, "I'm finally free." And then, just when we believed everything was under control, leaked video appeared from an unexpected source. The same man who wrote poems about her while she was incarcerated. Who said that forever means forever. Who watched her walk red carpets. While he stayed in the background, Papoose himself. Yes, Mr. Loyalty. Apparently, he had enough because early on Friday morning, a video file named Remy Backstage MP4 was inexplicably sent to several private forums, pages, and even Thesadoom's backup account. And guess whose watermark was faintly visible in the bottom corner? Papcam. According to people familiar with the matter, this footage was taken from a security camera that Papoose had access to and had set up backstage at a private industry event where Remy was scheduled to perform as a surprise guest. The video went viral in 20 minutes, forcing X, the former Twitter, to temporarily disable trending topics because #RemyMalid and #Papset roll tape were literally breaking the feed. TikTok creators reacted live, and the 3 were seen laughing, touching, and eventually doing something that had to be blurred in every repost to avoid instant takedowns. One of them was battle rapper Bill Collector, while the other was an unidentified music executive with dreads, a diamond chain, and a very distinctive R tattoo on his neck, went full 2007. Wendy Williams podcaster released emergency episodes, mids, and Papoose silent, but that silence was loud because despite his silence, he made sure the world heard his side without saying a word. And let's face it, timing was more important than just the tape. This leak occurred precisely 13 days after Ree's post about "I'm finally living in my truth," and exactly 6 days after she was seen with her rumored girlfriend Dominique Laveau at. Let's pause here because whether or not you think Remy Ma was lying about her sexual orientation, this footage just destroyed a movement that supporters believed was based on honesty and healing. It happened exactly 1 day after she agreed to be the keynote speaker at a Women in Identity Summit. That's right, Remy Ma was about to be paid to represent the LGBTQ+ movement. And now that entire opportunity just got lit on fire. She really said, "I'm gay." The tweet read, and then rolled into a double feature. What's the truth, girl? Another person said, Remy cheating on her wife and husband while playing for both teams. For those who openly supported her during her coming out moment, it was messy, raw, and tragic. However, this is when the plot really takes off. As it comes out that this wasn't the first time Papoose has reportedly been sitting on a folder of security footage for months, according to multiple insiders. According to a source close to his legal team, he always suspected something. Following the Easy the Block captain rumors, he began keeping an eye on her backstage guests and green room access. He wasn't trying to trap her. He just needed proof to stop feeling crazy, and he got it. Now everyone is watching it in real time. And what was Rhee's response? At first there was complete silence, but then she posted a single Instagram story with a black screen and white text. The truth is never one-sided. There was no name, no denial, no context, just vibes and a digital smoke bomb. However, if she believed that would put out the fire, she was terribly mistaken because the backlash came within hours. Remy's endorsement contract with the queer-focused podcast network FEMA Audio was canceled. She was quietly pulled from the lineup of a Pride Month showcase where she was supposed to be the main attraction. And even the LGBTQ+ blog community released a statement. We support those discovering their truth, but we do not put up with those who use identity as a shield to avoid dishonesty. After a few hours, previous interview footage resurfaced, including one from 2019 in which Remy Ma told a radio DJ, "I don't really like labels." As the walls closed in, fans began digging, which is what fans do best. The video, which has been sewn onto TikToks with circus music playing in the background, has had over 9 million views in only 48 hours. But let's not forget the man. I do what I want, but at the end of the day, I'm with a man. Papoose, who is at the center of all of this commotion, hasn't gone live, tweeted, or shared a selfie. But his sister Latana, who never misses a scandal, did upload a TikTok saying, "You guys said he was crazy, said he was insecure. Look now, I've always trusted her, but I've learned not everything sacred stays safe." Papoose said in a 2021 interview. As the film cut to her, we haven't even reached Dominique's response yet. Because just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, Dominique Laveau entered the chat and didn't just post a quote or unfollow quietly. Oh no. Dominique proceeded to go full HBO original series on Remy Ma's actions. The video has received 2 million views and is still growing. Entire truth journey. She posted a 3-minute black and white confession video on Instagram called What She Told Me. It begins with Dominique sitting by candlelight in a silk robe, staring into the camera as if she were going to expose a cult. Her first words are, "When someone says they're leaving lies behind but brings more into the bed, what are we really celebrating?" Dominique wasn't holding back from the beginning. "I was in her bed the night before, and she kissed me and told me I was enough." Then the next day, she's on video with not one but 2 men. What kind of liberation is that? Dominique's video went viral in just 17 minutes. She claims she learned about the footage like the rest of us through direct messages and notifications. Blowing up her phone at 3 a.m., trust me, Dominique was prepared for the backlash. She concluded her video by asking, "Don't drag me." TikTok stitched it. YouTubers posted 10-part comments, and even Twitter Spaces sponsored an A-Tower panel titled When Queer Identity Becomes PR, the Remy Ma debacle. That room did not contain me. She was obviously not in love with me. Mike sank. Supporters Dominique started expressing her love right away, and the hashtag Justice for Dominique went viral on various platforms. People shared old videos of her and Remy, highlighting how sincere Dom appeared and how much she loved Remy. Now, love is being played backwards, but it gets even wilder because as Dominique was sharing her heartbreak, an anonymous source leaked text messages purportedly exchanged between her and Remy from just 2 weeks prior to the footage being leaked. "I swear you're the only one," was one of Remy's messages. "All I need is time to shut all the old doors." According to another, "Don't trust anything unless it's from me." When people don't understand something, they want to destroy it. The internet went crazy. Those texts are real. Remy was purposefully lying to Dominique while having extramarital affairs after coming out as a lesbian. As a result, people are now calling it what it is: queerbaiting, gaslighting, double betrayal, and let's face it, the impact wasn't just emotional, it was also professional, because Dominique was allegedly in negotiations with a wellness company to launch an energy candle line and Healing with Dom podcast, but Zen Edge quietly announced after the scandal that they were reevaluating all collaborations pending clarification. In other words, Remy ruined Dominique's bag too. But hold on. We're one of the two men in the leaked video, bill collector, decided to speak up. And his response? You guessed it, was a freestyle. The entire disc track, Closets and Contracts, was released on SoundCloud, and the first line was, "She told me she was done with men while unzipping my pants." Was it disrespectful? Was it unnecessary? Was it viral? I'm not the villain. I just played my verse / but when love got loud, she rehearsed the hurt. The song continues to call out Papoose, Easy, the block captain, and even Dominique. Fans' reactions were mixed. Some claimed he was clout chasing, while others said he had every right to speak since he's now a part of the digital hall of shame that Remy unintentionally created. But here's what they had to say. Since the original voice memo that outed Remy, Ma wasn't an official statement, but rather a leaked phone call to a purported friend that coincidentally went viral just before Pride Month. Just before a wave of branded deals, and just before a Doizer's pitch was reportedly being shopped around about her identity transformation. One insider from a major streaming service revealed this information anonymously to the public. This is the real question that everyone is asking now. Was the coming out real, or was it a PR ploy from the beginning? The phrase queer performance for profit is now being discussed in every think piece, podcast, and gossip forum. We Were Pitched, a 6-part series about Remy finding herself, falling in love with a woman, and starting over. We're not sure if this was growth or just gross. One viral post said, "Remy didn't just play Papoose, she played the whole movement, and we cheered." While she did it, the business receipts followed. The question is, was this really about truth, or was it about the rollout? Because Papoose leaking that tape didn't just break hearts, it broke the illusion. And just as fans were waiting to see what would happen next, several bloggers discovered that 3 new brands were trademarked under Remy's name in the last month: True Self-Clothing, her side wellness business, and Ant. By the way, all of these brands are obviously aimed at the queer demographic. She claims to have caught Remy in a hotel suite in 2023 with 3 different people in a single week, none of whom were Papoose or Dominique. In her 2-minute story time on TikTok, when I realized Remy was for everyone, Remy's former assistant jumped into the fire. "I ain't here to out nobody, but if you're going to lie, at least don't lie in front of a whole generation watching you," she writes. "This ain't coming out." The assistant continued by claiming that Remy kept everyone apart, ensuring that no 2 partners were ever in the same city. She referred to this as emotional chess and claimed that Remy was playing different versions of herself depending on who was around. The comment section was brutal. Remy Ma transformed a love story into a psychological thriller. Is unraveling. Papoose remained silent as the stories continued to surface. But he didn't have to, because that leak, whether intentional, unintentional, or somewhere in between, said it all. It broke the myth, put an end to the sympathy narrative, and revealed a level of performance that the public hadn't witnessed since the Jussie Smollett scandal. The legal battle has now begun. According to reports from a Bronx-based lawyer, claims the betrayal was intentional, embarrassing, and damaging to the public's reputation. and is pursuing a full divorce, spousal damages, and even invasion of privacy. My client was not only misled in marriage, but manipulated emotionally and financially for over 10 years. The attorney continued, "We think this goes beyond a simple split. On a business level, it is a breach of trust." The purported court date is next month. Suddenly, the story of Remy Papoose is no longer a tale of love. It's a legal matter. The media is having a meltdown. A cultural reckoning is required. Additionally, when hip-hop heartbreak hits, treachery, subpoenas, and scandal merchandise follow, making it impossible for the fires to go any higher. Public opinion had already reached a decision by the time Dominique released her tear-stained truth video and Remy Ma's assistant revealed the purportedly emotional chess game. There was no misunderstanding of Remy Ma. She was in charge of Arrestor, the true storm, however, which came from Papoose's legal team rather than a podcast or leak, struck before we could even digest the emotional devastation. At exactly 9:17 a.m., a 47-page court document was uploaded to the public docket on a Monday. Scott versus Mackey is the filing's name. Petition for financial deception and irreversible emotional injury. In other words, Papoose is finished. Let's dissect this shocking revelation. Includes a lawsuit, a full divorce request with expedited court proceedings, a $2 claim for emotional damages, $5 million, claiming deliberate character, sabotage, shame, and betrayal, a demand for the cessation of any public exploitation of the Remy plus Dominique plot. Additionally, Meta, YouTube, and Twitter X were subpoenaed for analytics related to all content related to the clip that was leaked by Remy Ma. Why? Due to Papoose's recent allegations that Remy and/or her team may have profited from the incident. While remaining legally wed to him and having joint brand ties, yes. According to the lawsuit, Remy's personal transformation arc exploited Papoose's face, name, and loyalty image. He now demands a share of the revenues or the complete removal of his image from all platforms. This is not a court for divorce. This is heartbreaking corporate retaliation. Additionally, in the midst of Remy Ma went silent once more. However, that silence was short-lived as audio from her planned tell-all duties was released. Indeed, it is taking place. Simply go out on the streets. Remy can be heard in the video saying, "I was surviving. You don't know how hard it is to live a life for everyone but yourself. If I lied, it's because the truth wasn't safe yet." She then whispers, I didn't want to lose myself." Emotional? Yes. Honest? Maybe. Too late? Definitely. Because now public support has virtually vanished. Let's talk numbers. More than 75,000 people have unfollowed Remy Ma on all platforms. 41,000 people have signed the petition to ban her from Pride campaigns. And in just 1 week, her music streams have dropped by 48%. Podcast networks that once pursued her for interviews has now suspended all contact with insiders. But guess who's emerging from the ruins like a phoenix in timberlands? Papoose. In his first public appearance since the scandal, he was seen at a youth poetry event in Brooklyn, where he gave a spoken word performance titled "The Silence Between the Lies." He was seen there with no entourage or security, just himself, and a microphone. The room gave him a standing ovation, and the internet immediately crowned him the people's husband. Meanwhile, fans are comparing Remy Ma's decline to Ja Rule at Fyre Festival, a once respected figure now linked to dishonesty and failure. Even celebrities have begun to weigh in on the now viral video. "You claimed it was truth, but I saw the script. You weren't coming out. You were switching the cast." When Cardi B was asked about the drama during a live broadcast, she said, "Remy has always been tough, but this ain't toughness." Cardi B subsequently removed the tweet, saying, "Identity is sacred. Don't weaponize it, especially when someone gave you their whole soul." This is a complete mess. Even Issa Rae, who'd reportedly been considering Remy for a guest role on Her next project, Backstage Girls, confirmed in an interview, sometimes talent ain't enough. A brand cannot be established on realness and fabrication that serves the public interest. Phew. And just when you thought the heat couldn't rise any higher, another explosive twist. Dominique Laveau, fresh off heartbreak and cancellation fallout, has signed a deal with a major podcast platform for a new series called Coosted by the Truth. Episode 1, The Woman Who Wasn't Who She Said She Was. In the teaser trailer, Dominique is heard saying, "I didn't lose Remy. What did I lose? She wished for me to think so." The series will examine identity fraud in queer spaces, emotional PR relationships, and when silence is abuse, according to press materials. Remy Ma is reportedly furious, and her lawyers are reportedly preparing a countersuit for defamation and privacy violation. But the damage is already done. She is not only facing heartbreak, but also facing exile from the industry. Even her upcoming memoir, Unwritten, is reportedly being postponed indefinitely. Fashion brands are pulling away, PR firms are refusing to represent her, and Papoose isn't happy about it. He recently shared a mysterious Instagram post with a picture of a chessboard, "My Dame," and the caption, "The Queen believed she could go anywhere. She lost sight of her protector. Checkmate. Poetry is being given. It is causing agony. Marketing genius is being given." This leads us back to the whole picture, because it's not simply a failed marriage here. It's about how fame, love, and identity are intertwined until reality turns into a show. When performance turns into survival, is there ever love for Remy Ma? Was she ever gay? Did any of it happen? Or was it only a sequence of decisions made for control, survival, and influence? One thing is certain, even though we might never receive a clear response. Papoose pledged her allegiance. The world has now punished her for causing him a controversy. Was Remy Ma really trying to figure out who she was? Or did she simply take over a whole movement for her own self-serving rebranding? Was Papoose retaliating by leaking that footage? Or was it the sole means of surviving a performance-based love? What does this mean for the fans? Those that supported Remy through jail, cheating rumors, fake outs, and Instagram lives were the ones who believed in black love. Are we merely supporting characters in her plot, observing, sharing, and responding to mayhem masquerading as freedom? Honestly, this wasn't only a scandal. Disguised as a personal breakthrough, this was a public betrayal. Dominique suffered harm. Papoose felt ashamed, as well as Remy. She is now either the most believable antagonist in hip-hop or the most misunderstood female character. We would want to speak with you. Was this a campaign for attention or an identity crisis? Did Remy discover the truth, or did she fail miserably in her attempt to brand it? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Tell us if you're on the Dominique side, the Papoose side, or you're still in shock at what just transpired. Just wait until you find out who else is coming forward next week. If you thought this was crazy, yes, an additional layer, angle, and name. Here at Gossip Spill Vibe, we do more than just report drama. We explain the devastation. So hit that like button, subscribe, and enable notifications. Stay tuned, remain untidy, and continue to inquire.